Howdy there neighbors, Ian with eTrailer here. Today we're going to be looking at the Aries Aero running boards on our 2023 Chevy Traverse. Let's get into some features and then the install. These running boards are going to feature a 76-inch length, which is going to look nice and go under both front and rear doors, giving you the option to not only get in the vehicle, but if you've got something on the roof rack here, makes it very easy to be able to reach up and access anything you've got on there. Do feature a 500-pound weight capacity and then a 5-inch face for you to be able to get your foot on. I've got 12-inch boots here that make it just a little bit easier to get back up into the vehicle here. And then we're going to go ahead and get into that install for this. I did want to mention this is stated as a custom fit kit. It does not necessarily fit the 23s the way it's supposed to. You will need to have to drill out a couple holes and kind of make things a little bit more comfortable for this fit. So if that's not something you're interested in, do look at our dealer locator option, because somebody else can help you get this on if you just didn't want to mess with it. But otherwise, probably hour and a half of just tinkering in the garage will get it done. So let's take a look at that install. And we're starting with our front bracket here. It's going to be the longest out of the three. There's our middle one there, and then the rear identifier it's going to have this little piece of angle right here to kind of help you get that figured out. So your longest in the front, the same type of bracket in the middle, and then the one with the angle at the rear. But we want to come up to this front center hole. There's going to be a little rubber grommet here that we're just going to remove. And then our back hole is going to be this one here. And we'll take our T-bolts and get those apart. They do come pre-assembled in the kit. Just pull that off of there. And then that's going to slide into the hole. You want to be careful you don't knock it into the frame. It becomes very difficult to take them out if you do. And then we will take our flat washer and the lock washer behind that. You may have to use the bracket to keep a little pressure so it doesn't shift on you. Lock washer, and then the nut on top of that. And all of the hardware we're going to leave loose till the very end, so I wanted to make sure I mentioned that. And then we're going to do the same with this hole that we removed the grommet from. And then we'll just kind of snug that up by hand again, just to make sure we've got everything in place. Once we've got that little spring through, we're just going to thread that onto the bolt with the plate attached. And carefully work that all through there. And then shimmy that out the hole at the end, and we'll just leave that hanging until we get the bracket put up. We're going to do the same exact thing we did for this front bracket here in the middle. There's going to be two spots. We're going to want the front one here. You can always double check on the other side to make sure you're going to be lining up with where you need to be, and then feed our spring through this over to the hole where we'll be able to get the bracket and the bolt through. And then again, we'll thread this onto our fish line. Then we'll gently pull that through, kind of working that back bracket through up towards the top. And then once we've got that fish through the hole back there, we'll just drop it and leave it for the center bracket. Now that we've got the middle bracket on and just hanging there, we're going to move to this back one. The back one, we found the 2022s have this hole centered. The 2023s like we've got here do not have that centered hole. So we are going to have to drill that out for our T-bolt to sit in there. I've gone ahead and marked it with a paint pen. I just threw this assembly in here. It's just the same situation like we did with the 7/16 bolts. And the fish line goes up through this and then back down, much easier than the other ones because you got nice big holes to work with, but that'll help you get that center hole to be able to drill that out and throw in the T-bolt. So once you've got that hole drilled out, you'll just put the T-bolt in there the exact same way we did on the other slots. There's a hole on that back side like I showed you that you can just feed the pointy end of one of those fish wires through and have that bolt taped to it, since they don't send you one that's specifically that size. But once we've got our brackets up and hanging there, we're going to go ahead and put this step up. So we'll want to go through, loosen all these up almost to the very end. Sometimes you will have to go to the end because those are going to sit in these slots here. So we'll come back and then line the back ones up, and I'll show you that momentarily. So what you want to do is, since those bolts on the bottom here are on a track, you'll just push those up ahead of the brackets. That way we can slide it all into place. And of course we're going to adjust the centering once we've got these at least started. And then just go through all three here as far as these bracket mounts and get those hand tight as well, and then we'll kind of work on centering up if we need to. So we do want these centered sitting on the brackets. What I used is just this kind of roll in the body line right here. I've got 1 inch from that to the edge of our rail, so that gives us a good measurement to be able to mock it up on the other side. We're going to go through now, torque down all of the hardware to spec that's shown in the instructions, and then we're going to repeat the same process for the rail on the other side. And that's going to be a look at in the installation of our Aries Aero running boards on our 2023 Chevy Traverse. My name's Ian with eTrailer. Thanks for watching.